Aloha fellow JavaScripters. This is just a short tutorial of how to use the Backbone Generator gem. So to start, we'll just run back. To start, first of all, you need to install it. Go to rubygems.org/gem/backbone generator. Then do a gem install Backbone Generator on your machine. Once that is done, we can run Backbone Generator. And then it should spit out, it should give us all the available things that we can run. We can create, so if you don't know about the Backbone, I'm sorry, I went ahead of myself. But if you don't know about the Backbone Generator gem, basically all it does is that it scaffolds out a Backbone Generator app for you. It scaffolds out a Backbone.js app for you. Think of it as a helper. It creates things that you would normally do. As a developer, you should be focusing on the code, not on the, boilerplate code. That's why this gem was created. Now, to start, we'll say Backbone Generator to create a new app. We'll pass in the new flag, and then we'll call it My App. Right? So it created a whole bunch of things that you normally do. It created a main, a CSS, it loaded in backbone.js, it created in a view, it created in an index.html, it created in a model, a collection, as well as a route. So now if we cd into my app, feed vm dot, and let's see the contents of the app. So inside the JS, you can see that it has a model called hello.model. Inside the route, it said my app.route. I'll explain the name and conversion later. But inside the template, it says hello.template. Right? This is just normal Backbone.js stuff that you normally do. But this gem facilitates creating that for you. So now, to start a server, because it has a flag for server, we can run a server, and if I say Backbone Generator server, by default it's on port 5000, but I'm using port 5000 for something else, so I'm going to use 5009. And then it started a server for my app. So now if I go here to 5009, it should say, Aloha fellow JavaScript. This app was generated with a Backbone Generator gem. This view, it's not in the index.html. It was dynamically inserted into the DOM using the power of Backbone.js. I probably shouldn't be talking about that, since you already know Backbone.js to know what it does. So, yeah, you can check out the project on GitHub, and obviously there's a tutorial. One thing that you should know, that this page is only generated once, right? The first time you do the installation, that is the only time you see this. The subsequent time, you don't see this page again. I think it's a good feature of this app, or this gem. So now, if we want to add a new, so let's say, okay, let's look at what's inside our template, and let's be sure that we're on the same page. And let's delete, no, let's add a paragraph. And let's call it fooBAS. Let's save. And let's look at it. And let's see, we'll see our fooBAS, right? So now we want to add another view that you normally do in Backbone.js. You add another view. What you can do to add another view is we go here. We go here. And I will do this. cd into my, and then I'll pass in Backbone Generator, and I'll say view. I will call it fish. That's very random, but who cares? And the gem creates a view.js for you, as well as it creates a template for your view. So now, if we want to update our view and see what's happening, we can look in our views, and this is indeed our fish.view. This is our fish view. By default, it's not going to do anything because nobody's loading it or nobody's calling it. So now, if you want to specify that, what you want to do is go into your views, right? There's this file called the main.view.js. Basically, it's the one that sets up anything to do with the index page. So in here, I will add my view, my fish view, and here I will make an instance of my fish view. And my app fish view. And now how do I know that it's called app.fishview? Because that's if we VSP, if we look at our fish, so it's where are we? So if you look on this line, this is where the fish view gets created, right? You see that it's called my app.fishview. That's why I'm able to use app.fishview, right? App.fishview. So here, I obviously say my app.fishview. Now we gotta go on the fish view, and then we'll specify, let's say a div, right? We'll call it change word. We'll say a fish div. Okay. So this is our fish.view.js. So now inside our HTML, inside our index page, we need to obviously create a fish div that will hold that. So we'll say div, and we'll say fish div. If I'm correct, I believe. Yep, we called it a fish div. And now, if we load our page, we should see the contents of the fish div in our page. If we reload, hey, I am the template for fish. So fish has been loaded into our DOM. Now let's go into our template and look at the fish template. And let's just say, thanks to Jeremy and the awesome folks at Document Cloud for bringing us Backbone. .js, and then save. Now if we look, we should see, thanks to Jeremy and the awesome folks at Document Cloud for bringing us Backbone.js. So this is something that you normally do. This is very basic. This is not rocket science. This is very basic JavaScript, Backbone.js. So I believe if you understand Backbone.js, you should understand the workflow of how things are going. Now, that's the same way applies if you want to create a new model. So let's give that a shot. All right, let's create Backbone generator. And then we'll pass a model, and then we'll say our model was FizzBaz. FizzBaz. Who cares? Yeah, FizzBaz. And it created a model called FizzBaz.model.js. Now, so it depends. Where do we want to add our model, right? Now we're talking about Backbone.js, right? So you can specify a model wherever view that you want. You can specify it in here. So in this case, we can say models, right? So models is where it lives, and then we'll call it Fizz. Let's double check and see if it's indeed called FizzBaz. It's called FizzBaz.model. FizzBaz.model. And I'm using require.js, obviously, so I don't really need to add the .js extension to it. So now here in my initialize, I can say this.model equals whatever my model was, which I believe. So my model name is my app name dot FizzBaz model. And I need to, it's a new, I'm making a new instance. So here, in my view, I can simply do my, I can still pass in to JSON, and I should be able to access my view, my model object in my view. So, in a nutshell, this is the Backbone generator gem. It scaffolds out an app for you. It makes you run a server. Let's look at the options. Backbone generator. So there's a concept of a utility, right? There's a concept of creating a route. There's a concept of creating a server. Starting a server, creating a template, creating a Jasmine test. Also, you can create a utility that holds all your functionalities. Let's say you have a common utility that modifies the DOM in some certain way, or does that XYZ to the DOM. It's good to group them in a utility. And if you notice, I'm using the AMD design of modular JavaScript. So if you're familiar with AMD, this should also be fairly straightforward. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, I think that's about it for the Backbone Generator gem. If you have any questions, please send me an email. If you have experiencing problems or having any bugs, please don't hesitate to submit them on GitHub. I'll be looking at them and I'll be responding to them as soon as I can. Also, if you've not noticed yet, there's a page online for you of a documentation per se to show you how it works, how to use it, the installation, the frequently asked question, and a tutorial, and also a roadmap and changes that I'm intending on including. And also, if you like the project, please fork it on GitHub so that other people who are awesome like you can also find it and use it. Until now, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.